Well, that message has been thoroughly received. Time for round 3. Quick explanation, skip to there for the smashing. Pass means pass. On the fence means I'm thinking about it, and there may be some complications that get in the way of an ordinary life with this character. Though there may be some exceptions to that rule, but we'll see that later. Yes, but, as in, yes, this character is hot, but they may kill me. I'm glad you find my lack of self-preservation entertaining. This tier is still technically smash, it's just I acknowledge the fact that this may be a bad decision. Now we have wife. It means wife. All done, good. Now point let's go to. First character of the day is one I kinda did a bit of an injustice to last time, mainly because I was a bit too tired whilst handling them. And because seemingly I will never escape Liam Vickers, we have Dee from Let's Split Up. Now, already she's ticking a lot of boxes. Unique design, attractive personality, devious, and of course our favourite category, she murders and eats people. And that is because Dee is a Wendigo, and Liam Vickers' take on them is unique. For a cartoon standpoint, definitely they're attractive, and much more so than the original westernised versions that are usually depicted. But they're not all that, you see. I mean, it just sort of looks like some sort of weird human hybridized with a moose and a vampire all at the same time. It gives me less Wendigo vibes than it does ordinary ghoul vibes, and that takes it a bit away from me. The shape-shifting, however, oh boy, her human form is brilliant. Hey, don't even need to ask me, even the show knows that she's hot.
Well, you know what they say about the crazy ones.
Though my favourite part is the fact when she acts like her monster form whilst in her human form, obviously, because the Wendigo form isn't all that, and the human form isn't all monster. So mix the two and then you have one of the most perfect Liam Vickers girl. Not Uzi or Icon, but almost there. Liam swung for the fences with his first animated girl, and holy hell did he score. Wife instantly. Well, that was pretty long for just one woman, so let's go to a very simple one next, shall we? Akane Shinomiya is an interesting topic, since there isn't much to talk about her. It's just she appeared in the death battle Shigaraki vs Mahito for like 3 seconds, and then she died. There is literally nothing special about her except the fact that she exists and she's a woman. That's it. Which is better than possibly most of the options you're about to see coming forward, especially if you're not an inhuman connoisseur like I am. So she's going in yes but, as the but for this case is just that there's nothing. That there is nothing else in the fact that she looks hot. That's it. And that's pretty sad, honestly. She's probably the worst case of being in yes but, because at least the other characters have a quirk to them that makes them interesting. This one she just exists. Poor girl. Next on the chopping block, considering her birthday wasn't too long ago, I'm pretty sure, we have Teto from Vocaloid. This voice back synth, I don't know what it is, okay? They're all the same to me. But either way, we have a little dilemma with this character, as she's kind of not a character. She's everything. Right, so Teto is a thing that you can put into songs and it will sing for you. Not AI, but it's been around way longer than AI. I have no idea what it's meant to be anyway. It's just, it does what I just said it does. So there's millions of songs with her, so you can't really just pick and choose one version. But sadly, there isn't really any other option, is there? So this is the one we're going to get. And I've seen another few versions, like there's a goth Teto, there's a poorly drawn Teto, there's a purple-haired Teto. But the one thing that I found that is consistent is she's constantly called a chimera. However, I've never actually seen her look like a chimera. So, I have no idea. Honestly, simply because of that, I'm putting her on the fence because I have no idea what I'm meant to do here. In the same vein, we have the original version of Teto, or whatever it's meant to be, because we have Hatsune Miku, and she's either the original or the one that popularized it. I don't know, you may know her, as she's very famous and a good friend of Godzilla. Honestly, I'm not really sure what to make of this one again, as there's even more versions of Miku than there are versions of Teto, so we've come to that dilemma. However, Miku is fucking adorable, so I don't really care what any of you say. She's in wife tier. Now, with my streak of characters that I enjoy, you probably are expecting a certain someone to come next if Teto and Miku just showed up. And, well, you know, you, might be right. The funny thing is that Yeeksy was probably already going to get to wife tier, and then this happened. I mean, do I even need to spell out why this is so unbelievably perfect for this tier list? Because, I mean, if you've noticed a trend in any of my videos, especially Smash or Pass so far, you would know this is exactly not only up my alley, but basically everything that I want. She's charismatic, the poses, the voice, the music, the murder, the symbolism, the cannibalism, the wordplay, literally everything about this woman is wife tier. All of this, and we're not even talking about that she's absolutely stunning anyway. I'm not sure if we've got another character on this list that gets anywhere close to Yeeksy from Butcher Vanity. And even past literally all of that, the song itself is amazing as well. You can't ask for anything more. And yet she still gives more. We would be here till time's end if I kept talking about Yeeksy and how attractive she is. So instead, we're going to cut it here. We already know she's wife tier. Let's move on to other characters. Now, you're probably saying, oh, Jason, these characters have all looked human. Where's all the inhuman characters you were talking about? Right here. Yes? I'm serious. But will V1 actually get to the Smash tier? Okay, well, you see, we know this is a woman. If V1 has a menstrual cycle, it is a woman. So it's possible. The only issue is the fact that I am 100% convinced that if I went anywhere near this thing, it would shoot me dead instantly. If she wasn't so trigger happy and reliant on blood as fuel, honestly, she might get to on the fence, but sadly, V1 just can't make the cut. Though they definitely get an honourable mention, because on the official Ultrakill store, they have a body pillow. I am not joking. Oh, and you thought we were done with Ultrakill? Well, you're wrong. But sadly, the Mind Flayer of Ultrakill just isn't it. They have no personality. That's the issue with these characters. V1, a little bit of personality, but too murder happy. Mind Flayer, no personality, and is an annoying enemy. So there really isn't a point past the fact that, oh, look at this one. It has plastic boobs. How brilliant. Pass. So what, you think that I brought up Ultrakill just for no reason, that every character was gonna be a pass? Well, not this one. Hakita really just went and made a hot tomboy angel woman that belittles you as she beats your ass. How was I not going to notice that? Sadly, however, Hakita did account for that, as powers aren't women. Not how we understand it anyway. So you see, powers and the rest of the angels in Ultrakill do not have genders, as they do not breed. So they don't have anything like at all under there. They're just energy. Which, by the way, how can they bleed? I mean, if they're made of energy, like, does the armor have blood coming through it? I mean, Gabriel's body pillow, yes, don't think about it, he's blushing, but it's blushing on the armor, so The armor must have blood vessels. Never mind. Look, this is a female enough character that has kicked my ass multiple times and has called me a piece of shit. This is perfect. But she's made of energy. So, therefore, yes, but. So that's it, right? That's the last Ultrakill enemy that is female, or character that is female, other than maybe V2. But let's be honest, that's just going to be a rehash of V1 segment. So clearly, he's run out of Ultrakill. You didn't think I forgot about Mirage, did you? No, I wouldn't dare. Well, even if I haven't forgotten her, she's, different, to say the least. My brain doesn't really understand how to compute this sort of character because, on one hand, look at how she's dressed in her pose. On the other hand, look at her everything else. I think the issue I have with Mirage is that she has the Lizzie problem from Murder Drones. Stunning outside, rotten inside. Honestly, if she was a bit more upbeat, maybe I would put her in wife, absolutely. But she's just a bit too miserable for me. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm exactly meant to do with her. She's on a bit of a fence, so to say. Wait a minute. Next up is one I've been wanting to bash on forever, so you already know what tier she's going in. Makima is a bitch. She's heartless, she's a child groomer, and on top of all that, I'm 99% sure she let her own dog burn to death. So, fuck her and fuck everything she stands for. Next, Freeran. Freeran? Elf lady. Like, she's neat, I guess. Okay, right. So, Freeran, interesting character. Not exactly what I'm looking for, though. She's calm, she's elegant, she's mature when she wants to be, but she's also 1,000 years old. Not only is that kind of concerning, she's also kind of not very interesting. Like, all these other women got something about them that's interesting most of the time, but Freeran's just sort of boring as hell, and because she has such a long lifespan, she's just going to end up going for a quick walk and will be gone for like 50 years. And do you want to know how I know this? Because it happened in the anime. I like you, but it's still a pass. Moving on to Nuru. Now, I don't know much about her because she's in the same boat as Miku and Teto, but from what I do know, she's alright. Well, except one thing about her characterization. Now, I know it isn't exactly sort of yandere style, but it's getting close and it's not really my type whatsoever, so I'm just going to put her into yes, but because she's attractive, but if she does have that little quality, I'm not really too bothered and it will just be the same boat as Akane. Anywho, I think I should right a wrong from earlier, as looking at this list, something seems off. That's better. I think I did Teto a little bit of an injustice, because if I put Akane up there, which is an attractive woman with barely anything about her, but I didn't understand where to put Teto because I didn't know much about her, into on the fence, despite her being more attractive than Akane, I feel like that kind of beats the purpose of a Smash or Pass tier list. And even though I did say I wouldn't go into specific versions of the characters, well, there's something I do want to mention. Ultrakill Scourge of the Chimera is an upcoming musical web series of Ultrakill mixed with Vocaloid, made by Eggs Toast, and yes, that is their username. But recently, actually during the creating process of this video, which is why I had to make this segment, they ended up releasing their dual cover, and oh my. Not only is the song actually really good, they made Teto insanely hot. So, reading the lore, you would think like Akita, it would just make her have something that would make her less attractive, right? No, it makes her more attractive. Long story short, during the final war, they made these singing robots, which are the Vocaloids on this universe, and decided they should be powered by blood, like everything else in Ultrakill, which means they regularly need to refuel on blood. So, technically, Detto is a vampire in this series. A singing robot vampire. Need I explain more? Wife tier. Next up, we have, well, this is a funny situation since I don't think she has a name. The girl from Affection Addiction. The only real issue here is she might be lesbian. But the other minor issue, however, is the entire nature of the song is basically showing how awful she is at love. Essentially, she's more freaky than I am. And if she's more freaky than I am, then that's probably a bit too much. So, yes, but for our penultimate and final picks, they will still be from music, and starting off with Mika from Scratch. Now, her lore is, well, I read it a while ago, so it's a bit hazy in my mind, but from what I do remember, she's got a little blood on her hands, but she tried to redeem herself in the end. But come on, you know how this lot works. Overall, I think she deserves better than what she got. But am I that better thing? I'm not really sure, and she is a demon, but she is also a very hot demon, so yes, but possibly could go wrong. And for my final pick for today, possibly not ever, because they might get a part 4, we have Megurine Luca from Feedback. Yeah, sure, she's cartoony, but then she's not, and when she's not, she's this. And this is perfection. Basically, everything about her energy is just so amazing. This is one of the first cases where it's not just as a personality trait that puts them up into the top tier, or that I have a long history with the franchise, or I like the music. Well, I do like the music. I do love the music, but it's just, she is absolutely beautiful. I don't know what else to say. She's our last wife tier. Now do me a favour, everyone, and now that you've watched your lovely daily video of Jason talking about fictional attractive women because real women aren't attractive anymore, go watch something that he actually put effort into, like the Fiery Throwdowns, for example. Just do anything else with your time. Actually, on top of that, go subscribe to Liam Vickers. We need a part 4. And now go watch Godzilla Singular Point.